on that attack. My game is still not loading. We have the wonderful name tags coming in. And we have a middle floor site. I'm in now. We have a middle floor site here with Blaze opting for what looks like two people heading on to the top floor. Or Brick Bandits. I'll get used to calling them that after a little while. Zyda and Hyper on this bottom floor. And actually no, 3 of them here on this middle floor with one person upstairs. It is, I can't see his name tag, Rise, with one person watching the lobby doorway. While typical Dario and Buttered are all just having a nice time together. Hazel running in and out and around. One person on the room, typical light A, or typical light in projector. We do have Beaver holding a wide angle onto garage with Akira and Zyda ready to rush in. Hyper is ready to come through laundry, and typical light takes down Akira on the wallbang. I do see typical light there going for the peak, does get hit, grenade out, no damage dealt. Don't even, can the stream hear my mic? Don't have the audio on, cool. Making sure, I made that mistake before. We have the wall here now, going down 5 versus 4, grenade right to the back, Buttered. Doesn't have to dodge much, but he goes down through Hyper, getting that headshot. Dario in the connector pathway. Hazel still on that wide from the A door with typical light just stood behind. We have Beaver still watching the lobby door, and Rise takes down Dario with a grenade. Foam is going down, and the EMP. Zyda getting that, the foam goes down and he drops. Hazel is in connector, goes down from Hyper. Typical light gets taken out by Rise. Typical light 2 gets a kill on Hyper, but Rise once again getting that kill to get the triple kill after Hyper had secured that double. Typical light 7446 had picked up 2 kills there. No one else popping off a kill apart from Hazel getting that assist from one of Typical's kills. We are now on the bottom floor site. Brick Bandits showing they can be aggressive with the attack, and .lol showing that they can defend. All 5 of them sat outside of garage. We do have 2 Vezins on the force buy for Brick Bandits. If they go down, then that's going to be a terrible hit on the eco for them. But they must be confident. Hyper on the, I think it's a pixel walk here outside of the basement global wall as he goes onto the rappel up towards the top floor with Rise on the roof. Getting ready for this basement push. Hyper is up on laundry. We have the drone coming out through. Rise sat on that roof, getting the drone into garage. Droning out the garage, sees it's clear, and is gonna come now over towards laundry to clear this out for Hyper. Sees that it's clear, Hyper can now come on through them himself. As now we have the whole of kitchen being droned out, connector, and Buttered is hidden away next to the middle floor A site, and he's gonna now go a little bit of a sneaky push. We have Hazel taking out Zyda on the stairs. Hazel now half HP getting stimmed. Hyper had picked up Buttered on the middle floor there. Hatch is open and so is the wall onto B side. Typical light holding the angle on the wall through like such a tight angle, and he takes down Beaver. Rise with his Vezin does have to be careful not to be picked up by that. Peeks it, takes down Typical, no damage dealt to himself, and it's now 3 versus 3 health advantage for the side of Brick Bandits. Dario and Hazel both sat here down the main stairs, hiding about, with Akira still ready upstairs, trying to just watch for that lobby flank. We have one person in kitchen, one person in garage, and Rise getting ready to go into storage. No one is watching him. He's jiggle peeking it now. Knows that it's quite clear he could go for a push, but Hazel working their way up the lobby stairs. Love the new fog that spawns for the PC or Quest 3 players here. Hyper maybe getting seen there. Gotta be careful. Akira stops peeking it. Hazel comes in, gets the headshot on a Hyper. But Akira takes down Hazel. Dario still below the stairs now. 2v2 rises in storage. Akira drops. Grenades down. And Dario doesn't get hit by that nade. Now, Brick Bandits will think that's clear. Rise getting the foam down. Dario moving forward. Typical light with the Jesper. Takes down one. Rise doesn't know he gets flanked. And Dario gets the kill. Both Vezins now on the side of Brick Bandits. Will we see a comeback? Typical light 7-4-4-6 on 3 kills now, while the top fragger on kill-wise for Brick Bandits is Rise. Over on them 4 kills. But still, it is a close game, 1-1, but now Blaze do not have the eco advantage. Coming into the second round, we have 2 members of... I know I said RBL. 2 members of .lol available to buy those stims. And it's not stims, able to buy a Vezin next round, which is going to give them that advantage if they do end up losing this round. They have the money to splash because they won that round when there was 2 Force Buys coming through from the side of Brick Bandits. It is still a super close game in all manners. Misty, thank you for the follow as well. I did miss that coming through. Just seen that on my end. Thank you very much for supporting Eclipse Esports. I have the invisible glitch there. Fix that up. We have Garage Push here. Rise breaking it down. The drone comes in. And typical light will see that. Some shots coming through. And Rise takes down typical light through the wallbang. Rushing through themselves, being careful not to get wallbanged through that kitchen wall. Hazel on the lobby flank. We do have Beaver holding a wide angle on that. Buttered takes down Hyper through the laundry wallbang. Foam is not picked up, but we do now have Akira having that Vezin and a cloak. Gonna chuck the foam over to the other side where Rise can now get ready to blow this wall down. Buttered is ready for the first wall. Still gotta be careful. There's the second wall. Hazel is still now, is actually retreating from lobby. Holding a bit of a wider angle from into projectors. Typical light. Took down Zyda. Rise takes down Buttered. Akira takes down Dario. Grenade coming through. I did not see where that landed. Some pre-fires coming to connector. No one there. As Hazel now tries to push, but Beaver gets Hazel's head. And connector for the last player, Rise, with the kill. Unfortunately, Hazel's flank just doesn't work out in the end, as Beaver was anticipating after hearing the player there. And, oh, my game is a bit framey. Beaver only picking up Hazel that round. Akira got, I think, both of his kills that round, and Rise going 7-1, setting an example for that perfect scoreboard. On the side of .law, we have Hazel top fragging with like a mixture of things there, while typical light has more kills going 3-2, while Hazel's going 2-3 with 2 assists. The cash is still being splashed. Sadly, we do not have enough money for typical Buttered to get a Vezin, and we see a Viper coming out there as well. I'm just going to quickly see if I can change my color settings to lower my brightness a little bit. Just for this, so I can actually see some of the game in a better graphic. Looks quite nice now. Here we go now. Round number 4. Apologies for the round indicator at the top not working. Sadly, being broken since the most recent update, and we have a double drone coming into Garage. Hazel is ready for this, as being, well, getting droned out. Hazel now runs away. Going down the main stairs, Zyda ready to blow the hatch. Hazel still just watching them. Drone comes through. Hazel now rotating out. Still tucked into the little cubby. Zyda stands up, gets the kill. Buttered is in the corner. Zyda now getting that kill. There's now a 5v4. Beaver peeking through. Gets typical light from the corner. Pre-fires interconnector, no one's there. Buttered in the corner, takes down Beaver with the Spectral. Rise now getting that peek on Buttered. 2 versus 4. Brick Bandits with the player advantage. 1 Vezin and 1 Viper. Some pre-fires coming through from Dario as you get a wonderful angle through that site when you have the wall open. EMP is down, Stim going across to Rise. We have the upstairs flank, typical light with the Viper. Getting ready for the hatch drop. Zyda does not expect it. He drops. Gets 1. Zyda takes the refrag. Just Dario left, who is upstairs with his Vezin. He does have a grenade. Does he want to use that and get the kill, or does he want to save those credits? Looks like we may be seeing a save. Flicking up, trying to watch for anyone upstairs. As now Brick Bandits can loot up, and they are perfectly fine. Brick Bandits take that round now 3-1. Dario still rotating out, just trying to keep his guns for this next round. Need to change my color settings around. This game is actually so dark. There we go. Can now actually see name tags a little bit better. I still can't. Yeah. Did a live ping. I pinged content, which is what I'm meant to ping. Okay, there we go. Now I can still see the names and it's bright. Yeah, it's a bit of a dead stream. I'm pretty sure I did the live ping. Making me doubt myself. I did it in announcement. I did it in the actual announcement. Oops, I did it in the wrong channel. Oops. That's a my bad moment there. I'm getting a DM? No, I'm getting a ping. And here we are. Brick Bandits now going for the top floor attack. 1-3. Ooh, my contrast is terrible. Oh, Hazel with the Taurus gets a kill there off the start. Is that better? No, I still can't see a thing. I'm trying to fix my graphics. There we go. Bit better graphics. Rise now coming in. Akira on the stairs. Zyda opening the window. 4v5. Hyper on showers. Does have to be careful as Dario is watching towards that. Light is bleeding through the shower in here. Hyper on the roof, typical, nearly getting a shot off. Incend goes out just for that area denial. Now typical light cannot rush that, but we do have Hazel sat in the corner in bedroom next to the bed. Flashbang coming out from Hyper, still trying to keep that angle on the B door. Typical light still down there. Hyper now flicks around, flashbang number 2 going out. Zyda is cloaked, waiting, goes for the peek and is literally 1 HP, immediately pops his stim and hides to cover. Rise getting that EMP down. Akira watching that long angle, doesn't see typical light peek. There we do, now he does, gets that down. Who is IGL and .log? No idea, Grad. Probably Hazel or one of the typicals. Hazel is now pushed behind kill boxes. Zyda does not notice. Now he does. Gets the shot, headshot off. Hyper gets one. Gets Hazel from hatch. Rise takes down Dario. Typical light and Buttered left. Buttered takes down Akira. Typical takes down Rise. Zyda picks up Buttered. Now a 2 versus 1. Typical light is going to have to come and get the kills. No time to defuse the EMP. Hyper on the window peak, doing the, oh my god, getting hit there. EMP not able to defuse. Typical Light gets the headshot. Zyda cloaked and he gets the kill there. Sadly, not enough time to get the EMP, but what a refrag there from Typical Light. That was a triple or a quad kill, and it is coming clean. Give me just a second, my throat's a bit dry and being pretty... Here we have round number 6, the whole of Brick Bandits buying whatever they can. I just scraped my headset against the wall trying to lean in my bed. Just slip my right headphone on so I can actually hear the game, but try not to shout. We have the bottom floor site once again. We are going to see hopefully a push here which secures .lol the win, so it's now 4-2 instead of this 5-1 which we may see come out. We do have a long window going down, and Hyper trying to get a peek off, doesn't manage to see anyone. He does have a flash and an incend on the floor in front of him. We have Zyda coming into garage, getting the foam down on the floor. Getting ready to now blow the hatch. Doesn't know that Hazel is roaming through into lobby now. In lobby, Zyda gets the peek off Hazel. Hazel going down 5 versus 4. Still one more roamer. Typical Light. Hyper is going to encounter Typical in just 1 second. The wall goes down. Hyper doesn't know. Goes cloaked, and Typical Light almost gets the kill, but Hyper on 14 HP. Going for the pre-fight, the door blocker on Boiler. We do have the wall onto B-site going down. Akira nades himself. Zyda gets buttered. Buttered, I should have called them buttered. Zyda manages to pick some up from the body, and a stim gets thrown, but it lands too far. 1 versus 3. Typical Light is approaching. He sees Zyda, gets the kill. Now 1 versus 2. Hyper drops, and Hyper gets the kill, securing it. Now 5-1 for Brick Bandits in that first half. What a first half there. Now 5-1. I got a very dry throat, oh my god. Hello Stick as well, welcome in. You're not the IGN.lol, don't start lying to us there. Reminder, you can catch our sponsor iStock on, you can just search iStock, or you can come over to the Blaze Discord, Eclipse Discord, and try and see if you can find a promo link, because we do have discount links over here. So I'm reading pings in a Discord server who had just played against the Pavlov finals. We have a member for Blaze, or not Blaze, Brick Bandits Hyper now joining back, as we now have .lol on the attack. .lol, we don't know what they're going to do, but we do have Typical Light coming out with the drone. Coming into family room, we do have Beaver the Lieber on the roam downstairs. This drone just clearing out the general area. Doesn't check to clear out of the stairs, but it does clear out kitchen. Zyda is very low health. No stims for their team, but we do have Hazel, who had bought 1 stim for the side of .lol. Typical dropping down and coming into family. Getting ready to nade the door, just dodging those bullets. Throws a nade into the back and rolls. Does hit Akira. Akira now low. Typical Light takes down Beaver, who was on the flank. Hazel going looting that body. Now having a Cyclone instead of the Jesper. Film is down on the wall. Hyper very tight in the corner. Does have to be careful. If he gets peeked, he is going down no matter what. Buttered and Typical still just trying to peek through. Akira does get a shot off. Waiting for the foam to go. Dario takes the foam down and Hyper gets one, but Typical Light on the refrag, making it now a 4 versus 3. Typical Light peeks, gets Akira, 4 versus 2. Typical Light still holding this long angle, rotates out, and Hazel picks up Zyda on the flank. After then, Typical takes down Rise. That flank onto Connector is beautiful. Takes down Zyda without even being expected, meaning 4 members of .lol have, well, money this round, so they could afford Vezins. Typical Light somehow on 3.7k. He can save this round and then afford pretty much every round in the future if he has 1 or 2 deaths. But he is buying a Vezin, and it goes over to the other Typical Light here. Hazel also having a Vezin out there. No, wait, just 1 Vezin. Typical Light has the Vezin. We do have drones being chucked around and foam being chucked around. A flashbang on the floor still. Zyda did a little bit of clipping there, which he would not have... Wait, no. I think he did some clipping there, which he wouldn't have noticed too much. As we now hop in to round number 8. 3 members here for the front door peak. No one actually taking it as they work their way around towards Wine. Hazel droning Wine stairs. Clearing out this downstairs area. And clearing out the stairs. Small stairs here. As now peeking Rise on the back. Coming through to Arcade and clearing this out. Zyda does get seen by the drone and shoots it out. No pings coming through from that drone though. Most likely just verbal comms. Buttered Sosoa made out, hit Zyda for, well, 30 HP, and Zyda now peeks, pre-fires Hazel, going for the repeat. Does have the Cyclone, and Beaver takes the kill. Still some shots flying through. Buttered now pressing up, taking the exact same angle. Beaver gets 1, and Typical Light with the Vezin gets a kill. Dario now making it a 2. Well, Typical Light taking down Akira, making it now a 3 versus 2. Health advantage in the side of Brick Bandits currently, but there is a stim for .lol. Still have that Vezin advantage too. Film is down, Vezin gets dropped. Grenade onto the back of site, and Hyper takes down Typical. Cloak being grabbed. Wallbangs coming through. The Vezin is in the hands of Typical Light 2. Or 1, I don't know. Or both. One of them's random, one of them is actually Typical Light. Dario, ready for the foam to go down, does have the foam controller himself. Watching this flank from maybe Hyper or Rise, but neither of them doing it. Rise is pressed up, does have EMP. Typical Light taking some shots to the back of site. EMP is grabbed. Rise goes for the peak, but Typical Light takes down both Hyper and Rise for the round, making it now 5-3. Brick Bandits in the lead. I'm going to have a look at the scoreboard real quick. We have Rise on 10, but Typical Light also on 10. Just having 1 more death. Hazel no longer getting those kills from the earlier rounds. Now on 4-7. Hyper 8-6, but Akira 3-6. Obviously there's 1 less death there between the highest death on .lol versus the highest death on Blaze. That is just unfortunate timing, as that just kinda is the way sometimes it falls. Coming now into round 9. And we have the top floor site here. We do have Hazel coming up onto the roof. Hyper disconnecting. Once again, we have bot Sarah with a Viper. Oh, never mind. Hyper with a Viper. What a Ryan and what a look. We have Butter Soa running along with his Vezin, hands together. Drops into family, gets the peek onto Akira, and Akira goes down. One Vezin on the floor. Maybe Hyper will come and try and take this, but typical Light watching from down the stairs, clearing out the corner, rushing in, clearing out family room. Typical Light 2 is right on the wall. Rise is in the back, pressing forwards, sitting back once again. And falls through to connector, comes back onto site and sits in a very dangerous spot, which we found from a cast. With Brick Bandits, you can shoot between the bomb and the shower wall. Hyper taking down Hazel with the Viper. What a kill that you don't see much. 4 versus 4. .lol, health advantage. Just looking back at the stream, it looks like Sarah was going to die from players at the start, but then Hyper comes back. Dario peeking through to bedroom. Wallbangs flying through to family. Foam is going down. Dario took to the side. Foam is now ready. Rise is peeking through the lean onto the door. Dario took down Zyda, who was trying to flank. Typical Light is still downstairs watching that flank as well. Dario still watching that back flank. Foam on the wall, not blown yet, as he gets ready. And it goes. Rise is still watching that very long peek. Buttered has just cleared it, but Rise gets the kill. 3 versus 3. Plain old loadouts for the size of Brick Bandits having a very, very uniform loadout, just Vezin and the Jespo, while .lol have some things to go with their frags. But what will we see come through? Rise is still on this lean peak. Peeking it again. Trying to get an angle on Typical Light, but he peeks up. The other Typical Light not shooting there for some reason. Not managing to get the flick off, but his teammate does go down. Typical Light now rotating through, sees one at the back, gets a couple shots off on Hyper, but shots go back. The Typical Light now on the flank, onto B site. Slight crouch walking, Typical Light picks up Beaver, tries to shoot Hyper, and Hyper is very low now. EMP is down, and Hyper is watching Dario. Rises water where Typical Light was. 2 versus 2. Rise gets taken down by Typical Light, who was on the flank. Hyper very low, maybe going for a save here. Typical Light was cloaked on the door and gets the kill. Now taking it through to 5-4 scoreboard check. Typical Light now going 11-6, while Rise is going 12-6. That one more kill, still that huge point change there due to the EMP. But will we see .lol with the comeback? I highly reckon so after what we are seeing. Oh my god, what a game. We have the mixed rankings all over. Obviously, Akira doing the worst while Rise is doing the best. For Brick Bandits, on the other side, we have Hazel and Buttered going the exact same at the bottom, with Typical Light up at the top. To think that the lowest player on the winning team is also like bottom fragging is not something that you see much. They are bottom fragging the whole game. I can hear someone playing Apex around the wall, and we hop in to round number 10 here. .lol hoping for the comeback, as this, if they lose this, they are out, because I've just done a bit of checking, and this is the losers semis, which goes into the losers finals. If you win the losers finals, you go up into the actual finals and you play against, I think it's Intox is greater than Blast for that final game. Shots coming through in Garage. Dot is now in. Rise gets a picks on Hazel. Proximity sensor is going off in that corner. Is still there. Buttered setting it off once more. Now decides to break it. As we have the flank from maybe Akira coming up the small stairs. Buttered in the corner of Garage. Typical Light pressing up. Drops a couple things on the floor. Foam is coming down from Dario. Pre-fires coming through. EMP is on the floor. Typical Light probably getting ready to peek this as soon as the wall goes down. Beaver behind the kitchen counter with his Oriel is peeking the door. The wall goes down and Rise with his Spectral is leaning between the bomb to get an angle on the exact same door. Typical Light breaks the proximity. Beaver maybe noticed. Grenade goes in and lands straight in the same doorway. Second grenade lands around the back. No one gets hit. Rise still being careful, watching that door. Flashbang coming through. Both players flashed. Now can see once more. Hyper just wallbanging into laundry. No one is there. Beaver gonna get peeked by Buttered. But Buttered has the Vezin and Beaver misses one headshot and doesn't manage to get the kill. Rise has to be careful. He only has a Spectral. He wants to try and win this so that they can't lose map 1. Typical Light gets Rise and no foam is down on the far. Buttered. 2 trips on laundry go down. Smoke is in. Akira with his P90. What's it? The RCP? RCP doesn't get the kill, but Hyper with his Vezin gets one. Going for some wallbangs. Typical doing the same thing. 28 seconds on the clock. EMP going down. Zyda on the flank gets one. Hyper gets the other. 2 versus 1. Typical Light. Can he clutch this one? Does have 10 seconds to plant that EMP. Runs into Garage. 7, 6, 5, 4. Zyda goes down. 3, 2, 1. He has to rush for the kill and doesn't get it, but Hyper goes down after the clock. And Typical still going to get that EMP down for the points. What? These kills are going through like mad. Bandits no longer able to lose. Typical Light going 14 and 6 there. Wow, he is popping off more than Rise now. Obviously, that round there just kind of carrying his kills up. If you want to get involved with this tournament, we do have the NA tournament coming up after this one. You want to get involved with that, you can join. And we also have a huge Veil sponsored by the people who made Veil. I don't know the name off the top of my head, but we are sponsored. AX Lab, as I'm being told, they are sponsoring the Veil tournament coming through from us at Eclipse. We are also discussing another tournament which may be in the works, similar to something which I've had ideas and plans for, and that is under discussion. Maybe you can get yourself involved, join the Discord. As we hop into round Maths 11, the storage door goes down, drone is through, and we have 1 Viper for Brick Bandits, Vezins for everyone on .lol, foam ready on the wall. He pulls it down, grenade comes through, lands all the way at the back of site but doesn't hit anyone. Rise getting ready for his own name. Typical Light on the head peak. Still watching towards storage, throws the nade and it lands just short. Doesn't manage to get anyone. Beaver the Leaper has gone down, his body sprawled. As now Butter is pressing up. Cloak has ran out. He is watching for when Hyper peaks. Reload goes out. Rise now super low after peaking. Typical Light. Hazel is in sight. Hazel pressing up. still watching that corner. Rise maybe sees the gun, gets the ping out, but Rise is still being wallbanged. Hazel peeks, and Rise takes down Hazel. He only has a Viper. Getting that kill off on someone with a Vezin is immense. Hyper takes down Typical Light, who had the EMP. 4 versus 3 now, effectively coming down to the wire. Zyda maybe going for flank, decides to head back. Typical Light takes down Akira, but Hyper with the refrag wallbang still coming through from Buttered, and he takes down Rise through the wall. Dario getting ready. Hyper still sat behind the back. Flashbang goes out. Hyper does get hit. Goes for some pre-fires. Does end up hitting a wall. Dario now press through around the corner. Hyper popping off. Gets the kill. Now 1 versus 2. Can Buttered bring this back for the team? I have no idea. Goes cloaked again. Hyper is now in a very close corner. Zyda is on the bench behind the bomb. Now Buttered is peeking onto site. 35 seconds, and Zyda goes down. Buttered getting ready for 1 kill. He gets this kill and they do not lose, and Hyper takes the kill, meaning map 1 there goes to the side of Brick Bandits. If we pull up scoreboard quickly before we get into the lobby, Hyper now top fragging on kills for the side of Blaze, going 15 and 8, while we have Rise going 14 and 8 on the side of Dotlol, 14 and 7 for Typical Light, and 11 and 9 for Typical Light number 2, as we now drop back into the lobby. Back in the lobby, we are going to see these teams decide what they want for map number 2. Basketball there, almost going in, which, what a shot was that. I'm going to have a quick second to go and grab a drink, and I will be right back in a second for commentating. And I am back now. We have lost 1 member of Blaze currently. I went and grabbed a drink and accidentally made hot water cordial. We are seeing Factory come through here. No messages in any of the channels. We are missing Beaver the Lieber, a wonderful guy. I grabbed some food and a drink just as I got a little bit hungry. I'm gonna make sure my noise suppression is on while I try and have something to eat. Here we have Beaver in, ready now. Blaze going on defense. And after that first map win, they only need to win 1 more to go through. If they win this, then they head up into the finals, and if they win a second tournament, it'll be the second Eclipse tournament that they have won. We have the button going down for Factory here for map number 2. We have the bottom floor site here. .com on the attack. Not even .com. .lol on the attack. And we are coming through. Hopefully .lol bring a better attack game. Sadly, maybe Hideout isn't their favourite map. You've got to think, these aren't VRML teams. They don't play together constantly. Or maybe they do. Some people are like that. As we hop in to round number 1. Okay, finish that mouthful. We have a couple people in lobby. Typical like going a bit aggressive. Storage is open. Still no one there. We have a lobby push coming through. We do have Zyda upstairs on the flank in kitchen. Is going to be something for .lol to watch out for, but we just have them walking through towards workshop. Rise gets hit. So does Beaver. As Akira has taken down one of them. Typical like goes down. Dario getting thrown down, gets wallbanged. Hazel running through and grabbing that Spectral now. Grenade goes through, doesn't manage to hit anyone, it's butted. He's taking down Rise, making it a 4v4. Akira still on that long hold. Beaver takes down Buttered. Dario still has foam ready on that wall. 3 versus 4. Other typical light on Janitors, hopping through. It is now inside. Hazel coming through towards storage. Gotta be careful, so I'm rushing from upstairs. As now Zyda has pressed up into electrical and is still trying to hold this angle very aggressively on typical light. Does manage to get the shot through. Typical now super low. Dario is holding a wider angle. On the same door, Hazel is now pressed fully into storage. Ready to peek the door where Akira is also fluctuating between. Hyper is sat behind the bomb. Grenade going out. Hazel does not get hit by it. It's just a bullet. Hazel 1 HP goes down from Beaver. Typical light on 2 HP is close. We have the EMP ping going through. Also a ping on where someone may be stood. Zyda picks up Dario. Typical light left in a 1 versus 3. EMP is not planted and is just lay there on the floor. Beaver goes for the rush. Typical light gets 1 but doesn't get Akira, meaning a stim there goes down for the side of .lol. Akira having that stim, and no more can be found. Gonna quickly cast off your screen while I have one more bit to eat. We have Beaver going 2-1, Akira 2-0, Zyda 1-0, Buttered going 1-1, Hazel 1-1, and Typical going 1-1, meaning 3 kills will work out in the end. We do have the sound of Vezins, 2 of them for Blaze. These 4 spies do work in handy, but they are very dangerous in case you get the kills. You have to make sure that you either don't die with it or your teammate picks it up, otherwise it is super risky and you end up, well, not playing the best. I can see the game through my taskbar, that is weird. Typical light here, ready to hop straight in through orange. Hazel on the roof. Three members of Blaze here on the A site. As Buttered still on the roof. Typical in Janitors already. Dario taking that peek on orange top doorway through to the turbines, which is quite an unusual hold. Typical just playing it quiet, waiting for some sound to be made. As Buttered now presses up. Quite a few shots coming out just for the pre-fires. Typical light still on that bottom floor. Dario Getting ready to come down orange with Buttered. Walking downstairs, Typical. Gets ready to hop straight in. Now in. 3 of them on orange. Hyper doesn't notice and Typical Light gets the kill. Beaver now rushing in with a Vezin. Zyda takes down Hazel, but Beaver takes down Buttered. Typical Light ticking away at Beaver. Akira watching the flank from Typical Light 2. Now coming back onto site. Rise takes down Typical Light. Good for the peek on Dario. Dario is super low now. As Rise is healed up. You have a shotgun? No, that's just... Bullet spread. Just Dario sat in a corner. Rise is watching up orange, trying to get the peek onto stairs. Dario does have EMP. He could try and go for a rotate, but it is a little bit risky. With 48 seconds on the clock. Now Dario gets the peek, gets Beaver. That's one of the Vezins down. Ryder with the other does get the kill, and now that Vezin is picked up and bodies are looted as Brick Bandits are going 2-0. I'm getting at everyone pinged by .com. The real .com. Not no .lol. Just gonna mark a couple of messages as read, just so I don't get shouted at by people as we hop into the all-known top floor site, which is a wonder attack just because of that hatch on this map. The bottom floor is the easiest to defend and the hardest to attack, while the top is the flip side. The middle is quite even. Heard that from a video from Goodmate Stick, a member of Blaze who was casting over one of my videos to try and prove that he was an alright caster. I'll just say his mic quality on mobile is very fun to hear. Hazel trying to throw some up at the same time as climbing up. Just doesn't happen, so Buttered offers to help. As now some shots are coming through to Tetris. Nothing actually hitting, and just thinking you can actually pre-fire the doorway through that wallbang. Hazel, foam down on the wall. Hyper is at the back of Tetris next to Tetris window. Drones are coming through. Hazel gets a drone in, Hyper gets rid of it. Hazel still only has a Jesper. As we see a drop from someone. I heard somewhere drop. Buttered in on Tetris now, well, behind vending, keeping a long peek all the way down. Do have to be careful. Hazel gets the foam down on the wall. Pre-fire is coming through as the wall goes down. Grenade to the back of site, and Akira takes the punishment. Rise ready with his grenade, not yet throwing it, is leaning through. And sees Typical Light, but doesn't hit him, hits the wall instead. And Typical Light takes down Rise. Hyper still ready on that flank. No one watching hatch, but we do have the ping for the back coming through. No one is watching it really though. This whole wall is the focus of attention. Typical Light is ready just to peek in case needed. Oh, alarm going off on my phone. Fun, fun, fun. Hazel, his broken generator, and Beaver the Lever presses through. Hyper takes down Buttered, but Typical Light gets the refrag 4 versus 2. Zyda now behind the counter, getting ready for a push in. That door blocker still standing. Typical Light now hopping through the window. Grenade coming through. Typical Light watching the far hold on Zyda. Zyda gets a headshot, takes him out. Now a 3 versus 2. Grenade coming through, and it gets 2! Oh my god, what a grenade from Zyda. Takes down 2, just Hazel in a 1 versus 2. What a grenade. Oh my god, Zyda, that's going in the clip reel, my bud. Beaver on the far hold, but Hazel just popping off now. 1 versus 1. EMP going down. Zyda has to do something. EMP down. Zyda runs straight in, and Hazel gets the kill, making it 2-1. Blaze, Brick Bandits now maybe not able to afford them Vezins that they need. What a round. Shots going left, right, center. And the kills are just popping off with everything. Pulling up that scoreboard, I just saw Braze put up for a second there. Zyda top fragging 4 Brick Bandits, while Hazel is top fragging 4.lol. Look at those kills. 4 and 2 for Hazel. 6 and 1 for Zyda, not dying too much out and around. That is beautiful to see. Meanwhile, Typical Light going 2 and 3, right below Hazel. You gotta get that scoreboard content in, as everyone always complains. There's not enough scoreboard in CAS, but there is. Zyda still on this upstairs flank for this bottom floor site, as we see maybe another lobby push coming through from .lol. We do have Hazel on quite a backstep, throwing a drone over and clearing out lobby. Both of the doors in lobby going down. Drone comes through, clearing everywhere out. 4 members of Brick Bandits are all on A site. B site is, well, more open than many people's Instagram DMs these days. But it is pressing up. Just getting a pre-fire off so we can rotate around to the other side of this wall. Now on the side, some wall bangs coming through. Rise gets hit, grenade comes out, doesn't manage to hit anyone. But it does have his own nade, does have to be careful. Still some more pre-fires coming through. Hazel blows one wall, blows another. Typical takes down Hyper and Rise, but Hyper took down Dario first, and then Hyper kills Typical Light with a grenade. The suicide grenade, now 3 versus 3. Health advantage for Brick Bandits. Beaver doesn't notice that someone's come in, but Hazel now on site. Akira took down Typical Light. Buttered. Beaver rushing through. Hazel in the back of site. 2 versus 2 now. Does have to be careful. Akira takes down Buttered. Hazel now left in this 1 versus 2. Comes on to B site. Akira in connector. A little bit slow, and Hazel doesn't the shot off, and Akira takes down Hazel for that round. Going to Brick Bandits now 3-1. If Brick Bandits win 4 more rounds before .lol wins 6 more, they win and go up to the finals, which hopefully we will be casting here. I know I will be there if I'm free, and hopefully we bring some people alongside for the finals of the Eclipse EU tournament. And then in the 1st of January we have the start date for the AX Lab. Well, the AX Lab game sponsored Veil tournament. I'm gonna quickly grab an invite link for the Discord for you guys to join through. I'm just gonna copy it and send it in the chat now. Oh, I see Grad saying a nice word to people. Love you, Grad, too. We all love you, Grad. As we now hop in. So, there's not much stream delay on this, by the way, guys. It's about a minute of stream delay. You can leave comments and we will be able to answer them. It's not that long, as we see a top floor push here. Oh, Typical Light going for the straight up jump in. Is now in Generator, and Lever takes him down. Hazel holding a Pixel with a Taurus. What a Pixel to hold as well. Beaver goes for the peek back, doesn't manage to get any hits off onto Hazel. Buttered also quite low, But we do have Typical Light coming downstairs, and Dario just kind of sitting back. We only have pistols from .lol. What a game so far. Hazel coming up to the roof, no foam in hand, but is rotating round to Orange upstairs, where Zyda might be able to hear that rappel coming from, or maybe even Hyper hears it. That rappel is quickly cancelled out as now Hazel comes back up to the roof and is near the back of Tetra's window. Breaks it, hops in. Hyper hears the footsteps as Hazel now takes down one of those trips, takes down the second. Hyper knows what gun is used, but Akira takes down Buttered on Generator. Hazel is now getting ready to run through, but Hyper with the grenade. I did not see that. Rise kind of peeking. Typical knows he's there now. Rise's gun is down and Typical gets the headshot. Beaver rushing through. Sees Typical, doesn't manage to get the kill as both Dario and Typical get shots off. Now 2 versus 3. Typical now has a Vezin as well instead of that Taurus. Going for the peak, sees the foots of Akira. Akira gets the kill, goats pinged out. Now Dario versus 3. Akira with the wallbang. What a wallbang by Akira. Securing that round for Brick Bandits. Pulling up the scoreboard. Hazel going 5 and 4. Still top fragging for the team, while Akira, turn of events, going 9 and 1 for Brick Bandits. Oh my god, these team names. I've been calling people .com, I've been calling people so many names. It is so fun. Just quickly referring someone in our Eclipse Mix Scrims channel towards an application because we have Breaches EU, NA, Vale EU and NA, a new Paintball Playground VR game, EU and NA teams, and then an X8, a Gun Raiders, and a Vertical Shift team. If you want to get involved, the Eclipse Discord server is what I linked in the chat. Get involved. Obviously, hopefully we get some X8 tournaments going around when there is a PC spectator for that too. Round number 6. .lol sadly not performing to win by the looks, but they are going to try and come back. I'm pressing the wrong buttons to go up and down. Oh my god, this is fun. This middle floor site, we have a full top rush by the looks. Typical Light is using a... Typical Light is using... Is that a Viper with a laser? No, he's using a Vezin with a laser. Because if you hold your gun below or above a certain height... Oh, Typical Light with a double nade. What about Typical Light with a double nade? He threw 2 nades in. He's cloaked as well. He gets 2 kills, leaving it now a 5v3. Hazel takes down Zyda. Oh my god, .lol on the comeback here. On round number 6, Hazel now blows Museum Wall. And now blows the wall in Museum Rise. Is chucking that nade through, lands in the office doorway. There is trip mines behind the plant pot. Hazel takes down Rise. Typical nearly running into those trips. Do get shut out by Typical, and Hazel takes down Hyper. What a rush! Did Hazel just ace? No, Hazel got 3. Typical Light got 2. Why am I stuttering? Oh, I don't... Hazel, Akira is still going 9 and 2, while Hazel now catching up, going 8 and 4. Wow, the turn of events that round, as we now have Brick Bandits going on to the attack. Do you want to make sure to change your team names, Reyes? Just so we don't have people in chat shouting at you in about 20 seconds time. I guarantee you, if people are actually paying attention, they'll still point that out, because that's the kind of community that Breaches has come to. Whenever you're casting and you use the in-game team names instead of custom ones, everyone screams at it because they don't update. They don't really update with custom ones either. You have to like click a button on like a stream deck or something to change that. But honestly, just I run without the team names, but that is just a personal preference. have the last of that glass of orange juice. Just cordial, but it was really warm when I first made it. Wait, the roof blew up and I saw the particle effects over in blue. Window. Wow, these effects are a bit buggy. We have Zyda noticing where one is, some warbangs coming through. Dream's just gotten to the bit where I'm telling you to change the names, and Rise taking a bit of friendly fire, but it's refunded with the kill. Hazel just runs in and takes the gun. Here another grenade, ready to be thrown. Typical Light this time has hold of that. Where is Typical? Typical is in B site, but Dario has a nade as well, and he is sat in connector. We have the drop from Hatch and Hyper now in. Zyda now in. Akira now in. Head peek from Hyper. Hyper gets one grenade. Double nade back to there. Akira, and Akira doesn't go down from that. We have EMP down. Akira does go down. Zyda now pressing up to the roof. Rise already ready. Dario almost getting the plant off. Will the defuse off? Dario very low. 2 versus 2. Typical Light is watching to see if he can get a peek. Waiting for this EMP to go off. EMP picked. Dario getting shot. Typical Light not managing to hit back up. Dario does pop a stim. Gets hit again. Typical Light 1 versus 1 now after he had taken down Rise. EMP tap. Typical not sticking it. Zyda trying to get a pre-fire off. Typical Light now sticking it. Zyda whiffing the shots but gets his leg. Takes it now 5-2. Almost a turn of events there in the end. Oh my god, these rounds are going beautiful for both teams as it now turns out. .low can come back and I hope they do, because I don't want to. Well, I've got things to do, but maybe we do see a third map. Third maps are always fun to see, and it would not be a bad thing to see. I just see pings coming through from the Fusion chat. Gladly not me being pinged. I'm pulling up the wrong stream here. Have a quick look at scoreboard. Hazel going 9-5, but Typical Light 7-4, which I think might actually just be Typical Light, and the other one 1-4-2-8 is Ran. Going 10-6, and he is top fragging with kills the entire game, and Akira still going 9-3 as we see this middle floor push here. We do have Akira, well, Rise on the roof droning, Zyda in orange. Beaver hops in through the window. Zyda had taken down Typical Light, who was sat in a corner. That is a Jesper there for, well, not a Jesper, oh my god. A Spectral there for the team. Hazel right below the hatch. Akira gets a shot off. Hatch is now blown. Some pre-fires coming through. Dario sat on the countertop. Grenade coming through. Dario gets hit. Second aid coming through. No one gets hit by that one. Dario pushing up. Some shots coming through from Buttered. Buttered goes down from Beaver. Dario had a bit of a leg spike there. Hazel gets flanked. Akira goes down after that flat frag, just for the refrag. Dario and Typical Light 2 versus 4, but Rise and Beaver take them down at the same time, meaning if Brick Bandits win one round, we see the end come quicker than we would have thought, and Brick Bandits win and go up to the finals against Intox is better than... I'll pull this name up. Go against Intox is better than Blast. Actually, no, wait, no, never mind. .lol, whoever wins this match goes against Sunset Ravens, and then whoever wins that goes up to the finals. I cannot see properly, wait. I think that's how it works. I do not understand this bracket format. We're just going to follow it the full way through. Sadly, no display bracket for you guys on the stream, but I hope you have been having a wonderful 1 hour and 17 minutes on this, as we may be coming to the end close. If .lol win 4 rounds in a row here, we will be seeing a map number 3 be pulled out of the hat. But maybe Blaze will play this a little bit safer and take their picks, and we will see that not come through. We do have the drone coming through, and a Sosa, or Buttered, really injured, as Dario takes down Zyda with a wallbang, and Dario gets stimmed out as well. That drone goes down. Hyper pressing up, getting ready to rush in, looting bodies, and now has a stim, goes on a head peek, and drops back off. Rise with a grenade round to the back. It's Buttered from the corner. Wall goes down, Buttered trying to get Hyper, but Hyper gets the kill, leaving it in a 4 versus 4. All of .lol is left on site. Hazel sat in the corner that Buttered did just die from, trying to get the angle on Hyper. Hyper now super low. Hazel still going for that pre-fire. Rise is peeking through storage door. The smoke goes down now on that wall, and Hyper has been healed. Rise has to be careful not to get shot through that gap, and the EMP was that down on the wall? I cannot tell. We do have Dario getting a kill on Akira. Akira getting took down one more member of Brick Bandits. Just Rise now in a 1 versus 4. He needs to win this to win the game, or he saves, and it goes through a 6-3 on this round if .lol win. Dario still sat on A. Rise has rotated outside and is pressing towards Janitor with his wonderful plain-coloured Vezin. He could have wallbanged typical light there. Dario is tucked around in a corner. Rise coming over towards Janitor. Still just sat on the orange corridor window. As typical light is in assembly, holding such a long angle on where the EMP is. Ooh, that EMP is in a bad spot for the Rise to take back. 45 seconds. Typical light is holding that EMP like his life depends on it, and also has a bit of a pixel peek through onto the wall. Rise now getting ready to rush through. Just have to be careful. Wallbangs coming through. Does he know typical light's in the corner? We have someone coming in to now connect her, and typical light takes down Rise, making 6-3. It is coming down to the wire. Who will we see come through in the end? Just quickly helping to win out with the RML. What a comeback there by .lol. That person didn't get pinged. Just trying to help someone out in breaches via RML. Scores for maps, please. Was map 1 7-2? I want to say 7-2. 7-4, 7-2, and then this one currently 6-3. Akira going 11-5. A typical light 7-4 going 12-7. Hazel going 10-7. Trying to keep these scoreboards updated for you guys. I know Rise popped them at the start of the buy phase. Not Rise. Start of the buy phase. Looking back at the stream, but we're still gonna pop the scores up as much as possible because people do a little bit of complaining. Which, no problem, yeah, you want to see scoreboards, but we do have other things to also try and manage. Beaver getting the foam down. Hazel throws a nade out and takes down Beaver. What a little body flop. Rise now getting the nade out. Lands at the back of sight, and that is Buttered, left with 1 HP. Typical takes down Akira. Riser took down Dario. Zyda, Typical light. 3 versus 2. Buttered is at 5 health with an Oril. Oril, I don't know how you pronounce that word. Oh my god. Oh my golly gosh. Buttered does have to be careful. He is 5 HP, but the 3 enemies all have Vezins. That's just 1 shot. And then Typical Light, obviously, 1 shot to the head and he's down. Hyper getting that EMP down. The grenade lands short. Typical Light pressing up. Rise takes him down. It's now down to Buttered. And Buttered goes down, meaning we have 2 maps there. Break Bandits going through to the losers finals. Oh my god, what a round. Let's pull up scoreboard quickly. Akira going 11-6, Rise going 8-7, Hyper going 7-7, Zyda going 9-3, Biba the Lieber 6-9, while on the side of .lol, we have Hazel at the top going... I'm going to have to pull it up in the lobby. Can you pull up scoreboard? Oh, you went too quick. You do what I do. I cannot see that. Let me just become myself. Hazel was bot Geordie at the end after disconnecting or leaving. Typical Light going 12-8. Typical Light going 4-8. Dario going 4-8. And Buttered going 1-9. Brick Bandits pulling it through and winning that. I have to say, it has been a wonderful 1 hour and 25 minutes. Obviously, I've been Jonesy. If you want to hop in your